Zoning laws, at their most basic, follow a simple concept. In one part of town, we build factories. In another section of town, only apartment buildings. And in a different part of town, only single-family homes. Single-family zoning laws were instrumental to expanding the urban areas and the suburban ideal of owning a home with a front porch and a backyard on a half-acre plot or so. Your house could be your dream home, but that dream could end if somebody builds a factory right next door. And if you tried to sell your house, who would buy it? And any pollution or noise that would easily drift over your house could make selling and moving someplace new almost impossible. Thus, zoning laws protect home values, stop the development of projects, and delegate the control of how land in your neighborhood is used to the local government and homeowners. Yet, I'm reading that critics are saying zoning laws are becoming exclusionary. They reinforce racial and class segregation, and they've been shutting the door to many people being homeowners. The strict single-family zoning regulations limit the housing supply, artificially raise prices, and squander the dream, is what's being said. Now, minimum lot sizes are getting bigger with added height requirements, which the result seems to be ever larger single-family homes and more limited housing options like smaller houses. In response to a housing crisis, some local and state governments are rethinking their single-family zoning laws. Others have got rid of them altogether. Minneapolis made headlines when it became the first major city to eliminate single-family zoning back in 2019, and a new study reveals how those effects are paying off. Between 2017 and 2020, Minneapolis increased its housing stock by 12%, with rents growing just 1%, according to that new study. Meanwhile, the rest of Minnesota increased its housing stock only 4%, and rents rose 14%. In fact, Minneapolis has the lowest rent growth rate among any of the country's major growing municipalities. Homelessness in Hennepin County, where Minneapolis is located, decreased 12% between 2017 and 2022, while the rest of the state saw a 14% increase. And policies around parking and permitting near commercial areas and public transit were the two most important steps in encouraging housing construction. The city began reducing parking requirements in 2009 before eliminating them totally in 2021. In 2020, the city streamlined approval processes and allowed taller buildings near the public transit stations. Surprisingly, eliminating single-family zoning and allowing 2 to 4 unit buildings on all residential lots in the city accounted for only 1% of the new permits. The city's all in, though, and feels that eliminating single-family zoning will slowly and steadily improve affordability and add housing stock. More than half of renters are at their limits, spending 30% or more of their income just on housing. It seems like government at all levels needs to rethink restrictive zoning codes and address these challenges. With Minneapolis as an example, can other cities and states address housing shortages, housing affordability, and homelessness? Do we need to give the experiment a little more time? The journey toward housing affordability and availability is a complex issue, requiring the concerted efforts of policymakers, urban planners, and building designers. And while it may take time to see the full impact of these experiments, the early results seem to be promising and suggest that we may be moving in the right direction. With our expertise and creativity, we can help shape our cities and towns into places where everyone can have access to safe, affordable, and comfortable housing. Do you have any thoughts on zoning laws and their impact on housing? I'd love to hear them. Reply to the Monday Minute email or just leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching this entire video and have a triumphant week.